So last week, David Barton tipped us off on what was happening in Oklahoma. If you want to stop Common Core in the state, you got to listen up and then call your state representative. We thought Common Core was dead once and for all, but it is not. You will not believe what the weasels are doing in Oklahoma. Here's David.
To our dear Oklahoma friends, the eyes of conservatives across the nation are on you. 2 years ago, we cheered your efforts when you joined the ranks of states that had repealed Common Core. By that law, you set yourself firmly on the path to better education for Oklahoma students. But your victory is not quite complete, at least not yet. You still have one more step to go. That 2014 repeal law instructed your State Board of Education to enact brand new, content-rich, high-quality, non-Common Core standards in English and math, and then to return those standards to the legislature for their approval. Now, the State Board of Education has acted, and the legislature now has until March the 23rd either to approve the new standards or to return them back to the State Board for additional work. And if the legislature takes no action at all, then the new standards will automatically go into effect on March the 24th, and they'll be enforced for the next 6 years. Now, as it turns out, you have a problem. You have a big problem. The new standards are still in bed with Common Core. In the field of English and language arts, Dr. Sandra Stotsky, a Common Core expert and a nationally known educational writing standards specialist, and as well as Dr. Larry Gray, a national mathematics standards expert, they were asked to review Oklahoma's brand new standards. And both of them expressed serious concerns about the intentional fuzziness in the new standards. As Dr. Stotsky pointed out, quote, the standards are written purposely vague so that Common Core aligned assessments like ACT, SAT will be able to compete for Oklahoma's business, end quote.
Unbelievable. Oklahoma State Representative Dan Fisher is with us. He is a member of the Black Robe Regiment, and he is on the front lines now of trying to stop Common Core. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, Glenn. Good morning. Thanks for having me on your program.
You bet. Do people in Oklahoma even know that this is coming up on Monday?
No, they have no idea. They're
being betrayed again by the establishment and being played games with when they had fought so hard to get rid of Common Core. How difficult is it going to be to get this to be done?
It's going to be very difficult. First of all, we were given the wrong date. We were told that the 23rd was the deadline, but actually the date would be the next day, and since we weren't in session on Thursday and today being Friday, then our deadline is actually this Monday. So we were actually given the wrong date to begin with. So it's been kind of a shell game all the way, Glenn. It's been unbelievable. It's going to be very, very difficult. We just have a slim chance, and I'll be honest with you, without the help of our citizens and maybe providential help from God, we're not going to be able to stop this.
So tell me what it means. Tell me what people have to do.
Well, what they have to do is they have to realize, Glenn, that just passing the law back in 2014, though that was wonderful, was not enough because we had to create new state standards. And what the State Department of Education did, in fact, one of our state school board members actually sued the state to try to help the State Department of Education circumvent the law that was passed in 2014. They killed 10 months. They're basically trying to run the clock out on us, is what they're doing. So the citizens are going to have to call their representatives, their state representatives and their state senators, and they're going to have to tell them, we do not want Common Core backdoored through these standards into our state, because that's exactly what is happening. And Glenn, you asked if the citizens know what's going on. Let me tell you, when I talked to our caucus on Wednesday, most of them did not know what was going on.
Okay, so the people have to call Monday and tell their state rep in Oklahoma that they have to, what? They have to stop that today? They have to stop that on Monday?
Yes, in fact, they need to be emailing all weekend long. I mean, they have tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and then Monday morning, they need to be emailing, and they could call and leave voice messages, and all they have to do is go to okhouse.gov or oksenate.gov, and they can find all the pertinent information as far as how to contact their representative and their senator, because they need to let both the Senate and the House. See, the Senate kind of did a bad thing to us also. Didn't hear the bill that we had heard the other day to try to fix this. So man, we are really in a fix here.
And if it doesn't go through, all of the work to stop Common Core in Oklahoma, it's all for naught.
That's exactly right. I helped to lead that fight. In fact, I debated against Common Core on the floor in 2014. These things will go into effect, and we're stuck with them for 6 years.
How betrayed do you feel, Dan? And how betrayed do you think the people are going to feel? What do these legislators think? I mean, are they paying attention to what's happening in the country with Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders? What do they think is going to happen to them?
You know, Glenn, I don't know. That is probably the million-dollar question. I will tell you, I feel completely betrayed. I feel betrayed by our state Department of Education, by our state school board. But I don't know. You know, we have a lot of things coming at us at the legislature, as you know, and it's very difficult to be an expert on everything. In fact, it's hard to be an expert on one thing. And so it's so difficult. So they play this shell game with us, Glenn, and I know that you face this every day in talking to different legislators, either congressmen or state senators or reps. It's a constant shell game. If the people don't wake up, they've got to do their civic duty, Glenn. I know you preach this all of the time. They have to become informed, and I know they're busy, but this is the price for not being informed and not staying engaged. This is what happened.
But you guys didn't even know about it.
No.
I mean, you know, it's not like they can stay engaged on this particular thing.
True.
You didn't even know. And you're there.
You're exactly right. But they do have time. And see, that's the thing, Glenn. Although our window of opportunity is small on Monday, it is feasible. We could pull this off with the right things to happen. But I can tell you right now, if those guys down at the legislature do not feel the heat, they will not see the light. I mean, they just, you know, they want to run, Glenn. They don't like the pressure. They want to run from these things and then go back home, do some little vote, and tell everybody, hey, I voted stop Common Core, when they really didn't do anything.
Whose hands is this in? What has to happen on Monday?
Well, my prayer
people have to call
in the Lord's hands, to be honest with you. But it's probably going to depend on me and just a handful of representatives, because I think if the House does not fix this, we have one bill that's a vehicle, and we're going to have to amend that bill, basically gut it and put new language in it, and we will have to be able to suspend the rules of the House to do it. And, Glenn, that is going to take 68 Republicans in our House of Representatives to suspend the rules. And that's assuming that House leadership will go with us.
How have they been on Common Core?
Well, they have been verbally against it and helped us in the fight against it. But, you know, they get pressured and they catch heat. And generally, you know how political things go. It's difficult. I mean, these guys are caught between a rock and a hard place. There are many of us who are just so principled. I mean, we're willing to get, you know, beaten the next time out. We're going to do the right thing. But these representatives have to be prodded, man.
Okay. Give us the address for people who don't know. What is it again? OK House?
Yeah, all they have to type in is okhouse.gov and oksenate.gov. And there they can click on and find their representative, their senator, their email address, their office phone. And they can be contacting them this weekend. They don't have to wait until Monday morning. Now, they need to do it Monday morning also. But, Glenn, let me say one more thing. We need people down at the Capitol Monday. There has to be a visible outrage from the people, or even representatives that agree that we need to do something will not feel the pressure to do it. They just won't, because the teachers' union and the press are going to try to take our heads off. They're already reporting that these standards are wonderful. This is a great day for us.
I got news for you. Dan, you've got to stand up in the House and you have to say, these teachers are worried about, you're worried about teachers taking your heads off. I'm telling you, the people are going to start coming for you guys.
They're told them that in caucus. I mean, those very words.
Yeah, they're going to. You can't continue to play games with people. And I'm not saying that you are. I know you're not. You're one of the good guys. But in the end, nobody's going to care. You're all wearing blue suits and red ties. Nobody's going to care who was the good guy and the bad guy.
That is exactly right. And the grassroots Oklahoma citizens, they're going to know that we did not stand up for what we fought for in 2014, and they're going to hold us to account. And these guys that think they're safe, they're not going to be so safe. And they're all running for re-election this spring.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you for having me on your program. Thank you for everything you're doing for liberty.
You bet. Thank you. Dan Fisher, representative from Oklahoma. He's He says, you know, they're going to think they're safe and they're running. I think we're going to come to a time when you're going to redefine running and you're going to redefine being safe. It's not the same. You cannot. I don't know what these people in government think they're doing. I don't know what kind of safety they think they have, but you cannot go against the people and just keep playing shell game after shell game after shell game. Are you people in government even watching the news? Are you listening to people around your own table? Or are you so isolated in your King Louis palace that you don't have anybody telling you the country is on fire? You can't keep doing the same game over and over and over again. I said when I was at Fox, I said to the media, you keep playing this game, they're going to come and they're going to pull you out of your studios and they will kill you in the streets. And it's not going to matter if it's me or if it's you. We're all in the same bunch. We're all in the media. You're all in the government. There's no good guy and bad guy in this. People won't see that anymore. You think people, when they get that angry, they become logical? You think when their lives have been taken and ripped apart because their money isn't worth anything anymore, their future is gone, you think they care if you were Republican or Democrat, you fought for Common Core or didn't? They're going to lump you in with everybody else.